In the early part of my career, I spent a lot of time trying to figure out what other people were thinking of me. In fact, I had this belief that I didn't really know who I was, and that in order to better understand myself, I had to really get a lot of knowing or unknowing feedback from the people around me, my boss, my colleagues, my clients. I didn't have any employees in those early years. Now, there is a science behind this, and it leads to healthy and unhealthy results. So I'm going to take a very short period of time in this video to help you understand something that it took a very long time for me to understand is you are not who others think you are, even though you think you are. So stay tuned and we're going to dive into it. Hi, my name is Shawn Sommerkamp and this is Motivationeer Christian Coaching. The science behind this concept comes from a guy named Charles Horton Cooley. He is the person who developed what's known as the looking glass self. And here's the quote that I want to get across to you and why some of what I was experiencing in my early part of my career was okay, even though I took it to an unhealthy level. Here's what he has to say about it. I am not who you think I am. I am not who I think I am. I am who I think you think I am. That's the looking glass self in its simple definition. And here's what that means. Oh, by the way, this is a short rendition of a much longer version of this video available to members at Motivationeer.com. If you want to become a member, it's only $35 a year. I did a 30-minute segment of this super brief piece that I'm doing right now with a lot of discussion, an hour of discussion from a group of people all across the world. So, go become a member and you can access it. Now, the looking glass self idea basically is there's me and then there are people that are in my life. People in different parts of my life will see me based on the expertise that I portray in those areas. So let's say someone on my softball team will see me as a great third baseman. One of my employees might see me as a good or a bad boss. Someone in my church might see me as someone who teaches the Bible, loves God's word, speaks on Sundays on occasion. Whereas an girlfriend might look at me as the devil, let's say. That is the portrayal that we have from other people, a reflection of their perspective. Now, in our formative years, it's natural and good to take societal feedback from those in our inner circle and even outer circle to develop a perspective of who we are and how best to act. That's good. It's normal. It happens. It's rational. It's reasonable. It's psychologically healthy. However, some people like me who didn't get a lot of great support growing up didn't really start to develop an understanding of myself until I got out of the Navy and kind of into the corporate world. And I was still sadly in that mindset where any bit of feedback that I got, I took it as canon, so to speak, of who I was. So I was good when I was getting good feedback. I was bad when I was getting poor feedback. That's not healthy. The looking glass self is good to understand who we are early in our developmental stages. But now, just because someone thinks you or me or somebody else is a certain way, that's just their perspective. And they're looking at me through their perspective in a colored lens of their own experiences. I don't want to be overly reliant on a boss who's given me a negative piece of feedback as if the boss has finally figured me out. Now I know I'm a fraud, which is what a lot of my clients have come to me to get help with. They feel like a fake. People in very high level roles feel like fakes. Very interestingly, when I was at GE one year, my boss, who was new to me, I'd only been working for him for about a year, one review cycle, gave me a very poor review. a development needed, which was the first time in my entire career that I ever got anything remotely like that. Now, by this time in my career, I had gotten out of the looking glass self stage and I was more mature and I kind of understood who I was. And I decided to fight it. I put together a 30-page report demonstrating how his view of me had to be incorrect or colored by something else, his perspective clouded by something unrelated to me, because my performance wasn't just great compared to me, but was great compared to everyone else in the department. Now, I showed him this and he refused to reverse his end of year review. So I took it to HR, took advantage of what happened in GE to be an opportunity for us to fight our end of year reviews. And it got it overturned and he got kind of reprimanded for it, interestingly. This is why it's so important for you to understand that you are not who others think you are. Develop who you know you are from your own experiences, from your own highs, and maybe even from your own lows, because we don't want to ever think too highly of ourselves, right? But what we tend to do is think very lowly of ourselves. This is the purpose behind Romans chapter 12, verse 2. Be transformed by the renewing of your mind so that you can test and prove what God's will is. We don't want to take what other people's view of us is as God's view of us. They don't know. It's not like he's using them to discipline us. We think that, but it's not always true. I think it's very rarely true. And then Romans 12:3 says, just don't think more highly of yourself than you ought to. So get a very healthy perspective of yourself from your results, not from what other people think of you. Okay, yeah, if you're a teenager, go ahead and get input from other people. Start to develop a social reflection of who you are, but you're an adult, you're in the corporate world, you're leading a company, you're leading a division, or you're striving to become a leader. Don't overweigh the importance of negative feedback or even positive feedback. Keep it balanced. And then look at the data to demonstrate who you are, and then use that to understand who you want to become. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe for 2 new videos each week. Tell me in the comments below about your career situation, and I'll make a video for you with a shout out. You can also become a member at Motivationeer.com. Your career is not just a way to make a living, it's a way to transform